Are you struggling to grow your social media? I'm Jake Randolph, and I'm joined today by Kylie Weber. She's actually my brand manager. And I'll be honest, guys, as a business owner myself, I hated having to figure out, what's working best on social media right now, on top of everything else I was doing. And so that's why I hired her. And since I've hired her, she's actually helped hundreds of our clients already with their social media. So, Kylie, let's dive in today about like what's working right now on social media. Like, 'cause I know it's always changing. So, what would you say off the top of your head is the number one thing people should just start doing right now?
Posting. Well, obviously post, like, good quality p make good quality posts. Don't just post stuff that doesn't really add value to your brand.
So what is a good quality post? Because I've heard people say that before, but I want to really define it today.
Like, is your video or your post adding value? What are you teaching your followers or your audience? I mean, most of the time these days, you have to post trendy things or really educational videos in order for, people to continue watching your page or your post or anything like that. So, definitely the quality of your videos is super important, but also with just, like, stories, it's important to post stories almost every day, staying relevant in people's lives, Someone might have thought about a facial and they're like, I don't know," but then they see your post that you're running a special or that,
Mm.
you give really good facials and everything, and then they might be like, "Okay, well, I'll book with her." So it's super important to, post and, whether that's socially, like on stories or, actual posts.
Now, when you say it's important to have quality, are you talking about the quality of the camera or the quality of the content?
Both. Obviously, you don't need an expensive camera to post your I mean, an iPhone camera is just good.
Yeah, we were actually recording videos earlier for our website, and we literally just used my iPhone.
Yeah. And we're he has a really expensive camera that, we chose the iPhone over. So it literally just pick up your phone, start recording. If you think it could be something so simple that you think, but people might not know. Like me, I don't know a lot about, something within a specific niche or brand.
Yeah, so I actually just got back from a mastermind where I learned from the top marketers in the world. I learned from even some billionaires, and they were all about Frank. Like it was funny enough because they literally were so focused on content building a brand, and they said the reason why is because with AI, like with AI and robotics, like basically AI is taking over the world eventually,
Yeah.
sooner than later. And
Yeah.
so they said the only thing, especially as a business owner, that's going to set you apart from AI is authority. So how do you build authority in whatever you do? And so, like, if you're a beauty professional, how do you become the authority in your area of like, I know my stuff, and people go to you and they trust you versus just trusting AI?
Yeah, that's gonna definitely where you can put yourself into your brand is like being the face of your brand. So that's super important. And that kind of is what sets, you from another business 10 miles down that does the same thing as you. Like, let's be honest, if I'm want to get my eyebrows done, I want to get microblading done. The first thing I'm doing is Googling microblading near me. Second, I'm probably clicking probably the first three. Like, that's who I'm gonna do my research on. And I'll briefly look at their Google Business, let's just say. I'm gonna click on their pictures because 'cause I'm a picture person, and I'm sure everyone wants to see results. So that's another thing, Google Businesses are super important. But, second, I'm gonna go to their social media. I grew up in the Instagram era, so I'm gonna stalk their Instagram up and down before I'll probably ever go to their Facebook. But that's why Instagram's so important too. Like, a lot of people neglect one or the other, Facebook or Instagram. But I think they're equally just as important no matter because you never know what age range you're kind of gonna deal with. But definitely promoting yourself in your brand. So adding personality, like just little videos, maybe you talking about a specific service or talking about discounts, specials, anything like, whatever holidays coming up, you can get involved, get in front of the camera, do a little selfie video, something like that, and then just post it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're doing research on a beauty service and you had to pick between just the lowest, cheapest person possible, or someone who's like, oh, I like that girl, I like her style, she seems like someone I can trust, or someone that I could see myself being friends with, who would you go with?
The one that I could most relatable with, that I could be friends with. Um, And that's another thing when I do social media feedback sessions, I always tell the person, the more you can get in front of the camera, the better. Because think about it this way, if I am coming to, again, get my eyebrows done, and I see I'm comparing myself between two people, one, or one that has the person that's gonna be doing it to me is just involved in their social media, you know, that just shows trust, If she seems like a cool person and we'll get along well, then I'm gonna feel more comfortable booking a service.
Yeah, exactly. And that goes back to building authority. And that's why the number one way you guys can build authority is by just posting more content, like you were saying, like educational content, things that it can also be entertaining. Like one of my friends, a waxing queen, she has
Yeah.
almost 1 million subscribers now on TikTok and almost all other social media platforms as well, because she posts educational stuff, but it's also very, very entertaining. And so, going back to providing value, an escape or a laugh can be value as well. It's why comedians get paid a lot. It's why people watch movies for entertainment because it's some form of value.
Yeah. I mean, adding, just even telling, a client's story, just anything like that, people love to see that. And people are scared to post about their personal lives in their brand or in their brand social media. But people wanna see that. People wanna find that relationship, and they wanna feel relatable to you, you know? So,
Yeah, and another reason content is so important is because what is the number one way to grow a business? It's usually through advertising, through attention, through ads. But if I click on an ad and I go to someone's Instagram and it looks like junk, then that's not good. But if I'm doing my research and the person has some educational or YouTube and Instagram videos, I'm more likely to be like, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. I like them. I'm going to book with them.
yeah, yeah, you said great. That's one thing. If I'm looking for a service and your Instagram looks like crap, I'm probably not gonna book with you because if you can't get your Instagram life together, I don't know how I'll be able to trust you to put something permanent on, my face, which is to me the most important part. But that's why you need to have.
And that sounds so obvious to younger generations like me and you that grew up in this, but for those watching who may be, in the older generations, they don't I don't a lot of my clients like that don't understand. They're like, "Well, I'm already the best at what I do. I've got 100 different certifications. I don't need to put anything on social media." And they're just losing so much money because they're not.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I get it if you have a lot of clients, but you never know what happens. It's good to always have that, to fall back on, you know? How are you people that don't know you or don't hear about you from a friend, like, they wanted to do research on you and you had no trace of anything, that's not good, especially in today's, world.
So I know that, before I hired you, you had over 300,000 followers on TikTok. What are your thoughts on TikTok for our beauty clients, like the ones running a beauty business?
Um, that's kind of hard, but, just because I feel like you can reach a lot of people on TikTok, but I mean, with a lot of beauty professionals and their services, they're probably looking for people local.
Mhm.
One thing that I would say is, probably to every time you post a video, maybe set your location to where you are, because I think when you set it in a certain when you set where you're located, it kinda reaches to people that are close to you, and I think if you don't set that, then it might just reach to, someone that's out of your state or out of the country, like, you kinda don't know, it's all over the place, but TikTok, so when I started getting a lot of followers and stuff, it was because I was doing trends and all that kinda stuff, but I was reaching people all over, but I was doing educational videos pretty much, or I was telling a story. So that's, I think, why people were so, engaged with what I was saying and everything like that.
Yeah. So did you ever have like any beauty professionals reach out to you and say, like, hey, if you want to try my lashes or if you want to get brows done by me, I'll do it for free if you tell your friends?
Yeah, so I got reached out a lot with the clothes, mainly like fashion. So, yeah, when before I got bigger, well, I started getting a lot of followers before there was any like commission on TikTok or anything.
Yeah.
So a lot of big brands were reaching out to me and saying, "Hey, you can spend this much as long as you just post like a haul or a video like that." So I got a lot of free stuff with that, but hey, it reached, people used like they gave me a code, people used my code, and then that kind of showed like, okay, if people are using my code, that's how many people she was reaching to. So, hey, we'll let you do it again next month. It was that kind of thing.
Yeah, so you guys watching this, if you run a business, definitely look into that because we call it influencer marketing. I don't even like the term influencer, but it's someone who has some kind of following, and it could be as simple as like an admin on a Facebook group or someone who's in a local church group. I mean, there's so many ways to get people who anyone with some kind of network. It doesn't have to be millions of people, and just offering some kind of either free service or discount in exchange for some content because that'll help you make content, and then posting it on their social media so you can get in front of those local audience.
Yeah.
So let's dive into some tactics. So let's start with Instagram since I think that's where we see a lot of our clients have success. What are the biggest mistakes they're making on Instagram?
Okay. So let's just start from the beginning, the top. So profile pictures. That's like the biggest thing. A lot of people just they'll either put their profile picture as like their logo, their name. I get it could get a little tricky when you have like a team. But if you are the face of your brand, you should be the profile picture. This should be a nice like selfie headshot, something with a clean background. People that are, looking at your page, you need to look presentable. If your profile picture was not good, like do you think anyone would honestly want to book a service with you? So you need to kind of fit your brand.
Yeah, it's crazy that you mentioned that because we actually did a split test where one Facebook/Instagram profile had just a logo as their profile picture, and the others had like a smiling face. And the smiling face, even though it was just a little piece on the ad, like it's just one small aspect of the ad, it performed way better with the smiling face.
Yeah, I mean, I always like to see, who is going to be if you are nowhere on your social media and you're performing a certain service, like people want to know what you look like. I mean,
People want to do business with people, not
exactly.
businesses.
And again, that could be like a danger thing as well. If I don't see the person, I'm probably not going to book it. Like if I have trouble finding what you look like, I'm not going to book a service.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because I mean, for safety, I don't know what you look like.
So and that goes along with like where they're located too. And so if they don't have pictures of their studio, salon, or spa,
Correct.
it's like, okay, is this place, in a closet somewhere? Like, where is this?
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
make sure you guys have photos of that on your Google business and your social media.
Yeah. And then, so that's one big thing. And then a lot of people don't understand like the name tactic, like the bolded name part. That is a super important because you could put your services in that name bold part. And when people search up a specific service, Instagram notices that and they think it's your name. So you're going to be ranked higher, not ranked higher, but you're going to come up higher in the search rather than if you just kept it like in the bio or if you had it like on a pinned post. So that's super, like, I get like a lot of people have different services, but pick your top 2, top 3. Ones that you wanna do, maybe they make you the most money or you just like doing them and have that in that name area. So what I recommend is either you have your name and then following after your name is, those 2 or 3 services that you want people to book with you for, or you could do the name of your business. Either or works, but,
So and you're not talking about the username, right? You're talking
no, I'm
about
not talking about the username. I'm talking about, like, where if you go into edit your bio or anything, it says name. It literally says name, but be careful because you can only change this, like, a couple times. I don't know if it's, like, a month or, like, a year. So be careful. Make sure you, like it. I think you only get, like, 2 or 3 tries.
yeah, I think my username is at PMU Marketer on Instagram. By the way, guys, go give me a follow if you haven't already. And then, but the actual name is Jake Randolph, and then I have like a line going through,
Yeah, I like
and then
the line.
yeah,
I always recommend that.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but I think you took that off.
I don't remember.
He took it off.
Just fix it
I did
for me.
not. I did not take it off, by the way. But I always recommend that. So, for example, if Jake had, Jake Randolph, he's the face of his brand, and then a space, and then the up and down line, and then another space, and then you would have marketer or,
Yeah.
something like that. So, and then in the bio section, you can pretty much, if you have other services that you weren't able to include in the name, that's where you can start naming your services. And I always recommend to keep your bio stacked. Don't do these long sentences, like, because one, you have to click when someone's looking at a bio, they'll have to click more to read the entire sentence. But it's more attractive to the eye if it's stacked. And then if you have emojis, aesthetic emojis that match your brand, even
When you say stacked, are you talking about like bullet points?
yeah,
Well,
yeah, in a way. It's so if you were to say, just include like how long you've been in the industry for. So say I've been a licensed esthetician for 7 years, I would add that. And then I would list my services. So whatever that is, if it's 4 or 5, um, I would probably stack it like in bullet list. And then, if you had to say if you take walk-ins, maybe include that, or you have to say you have to book an appointment with me. And then one other thing I recommend is if you actually have a location, a salon, you need to add your address into the section where Instagram tells you to add the address. So you'll know if it looks right or not because the address is going to be gray. And then if you just add it normally into your bio, it'll be black. But when people are typing in microblading near me, Instagram realizes that it registers that, okay, this person's near you because they actually typed in the address, the actual address. So you'll be higher in the search.
for some reason, even when you have the address on there, there's been times when I can't find where a person's located, which if I can't find where you're located, I'm not going to book with you. And so going back to the profile name, I actually like to put their location in there. So if it's like microblade, so service, like you said, but then microblading, and then let's call it, if it was New York City, like NYC or New York City, that way in their name, when somebody's searching for microblading New York City, their name pops up.
Yeah, you can do that as well. So if maybe just instead pick, don't pick two, maybe just pick one specific service that's kind of like a big niche for all the other ones. Pick one and then put your location.
So let's talk about pin posts because I know that's one of our favorite tactics that people miss all the time.
Yeah. So pin posts are the three most important posts out of your entire profile. Um, One pin post definitely needs to be a picture of you.
Before we dive in too much, I just want to give so pin posts
Oh
got
yeah.
are where you like you can literally click the three dots on any post and pin it to the top. Why I like this is because now because think about it, some people are coming from ads, some people randomly find you, some people search you because they were referred by you. But whatever the case might may be, a lot of times this is the first time anyone's ever seeing your profile, which means if you don't have any pinned post, it's going to be random what they see based on what you've posted last. And so it might be some random thing of your Christmas promo or whatever, but the pin post is the way to control the first three things they see. So now you're in control as the business owner versus, hoping that whatever you randomly posted last time is a good fit for them.
Yeah. So yeah, like he said, Instagram allows 3 pin posts that you can pin for it to stay at the top of your profile no matter how much you post. Um, so I'll dive into what those 3 pin posts should be. One should definitely be a picture of you. So whether that's a headshot, it could be your profile picture. Maybe a picture of you actually like in your studio or salon, maybe like actually performing your service. And then in the caption, it pretty much needs to be a biography. Like say who you are, introduce yourself, say how long you've been in the industry for, your services that you include, and then go ahead and like explain your why. Like why do you love doing what you do? What sets you apart from all the rest? So people can get a when they come to your profile, they see, okay, this is who would be performing the service. Click on the photo and then they can get a good read on you and see what kind of person you are and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and I think a big mistake we see clients make is they assume that somebody's just going to go to their website and look at their bio and look at their stuff on their website. Well, a lot of people don't go to your website. A lot of people are just looking at your social media.
Yeah.
And so make sure don't be afraid to put your bio in your Instagram, your bio on your website and everywhere because people don't pay that much attention.
Yeah, I definitely think like with my age group, I'm 24 by the way. So for me, I'm looking at your Instagram account. I'm not really I might go to I mean obviously if I have to go to your website to book, I'm doing that, but I know most of your better work is probably on Instagram because I know it's just like a hassle to kind of put your photos on your website and constantly, upload those. But so I'm doing all my stalking and all my research on Instagram or Facebook, whatever. But
Yep. Because like, a lot of websites are not even optimized, and I think, at this point, we realize that, and so half the time, like, if it's a local business, like you said, I'm not gonna go to their website, I'm just gonna look at their Google Business or their social media.
yeah, for sure. And then so going on the two or you have two more pin posts that you could do. So this is kind of like I recommend one pin post being your best before and after. So pretty much this needs to be either the picture that has like gotten the most engagement or, best before and after because this kind of sets the tone for your work and then the rest of your profile. So you need to make sure that's kind of like at the top of the list. You want people to see this and be like, okay, this is all I need to see. I want to book with her now.
By the way, guys, this is Kylie's first podcast, and so show her some love in the comments below. Let her know that we're, having a good time learning a lot and you appreciate it. So, yay for Kylie.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyways, that one before and after, and then another one I really like to recommend is, a video of, like, your space, like, where you're working at,
Mm.
or maybe to get, like, someone to come in and take a video of you actually, like, in your work, performing a service, like, that's just kind of, like, sets the tone and, like, the vibe. So I can as a person looking to come book a service, I can watch this video and kind of know like, okay, this is what's gonna happen. Like I'm so type A. I like to know everything before I get to a service or like and just like seeing your space and kind of seeing like how you work just makes, me at ease and more comfortable to
Yep.
actually like book.
Because it reduces fear and uncertainty.
Yeah.
If you can get rid of uncertainty, you can get a sell every time.
So, I mean, like, those are the 3 I recommend, but of course, if you have, like, promos going on, I know whatever holidays coming up and you wanna kinda promote that, you can obviously unpin whatever and then pin that. So you can switch them out and play around with it, whatever works best for you, but those are 3, like, I highly for most time out of the year needs to be stayed at the top.
Yeah, and so, like, don't get when it goes to comes to content, I love the walkthrough idea because a lot of you are scared to do videos, and so to me, the easiest video you can do first is just a simple, "Hey, let's walk through the front door and let's pan around and check out my salon and studio," and then you can kinda go selfie style and kinda talk to them about what services you offer. It's a very easy way where you don't really have to edit it, and it's kind of an icebreaker
Mhm.
until you can get comfortable talking in front of the camera like this.
For sure. I mean, I like the video one, and I also recommend if you don't do that one, I recommend one of your 3 pin posts being a video. I found that videos, do a lot better most of the time, more than posts, because
Yeah, for sure.
if we think about it, Instagram and Facebook are owned by the same person. So and they're competing with TikTok, and everyone's on TikTok watching videos, scrolling mindlessly. So they want people to stay on their platform, so that's why they're trying to get, "Okay, well, if video's working for them, then we should make videos work for us," if that's what makes the viewer stay on our platform, we're gonna promote whatever.
Yeah, and just as far as like I know as business owners, we all have limited time. And so when you make the good thing about making a vertical video on Instagram is now you can also put it on Facebook Reels. Now you can also post the same video on TikTok. Now you can post it on YouTube Shorts, which if you're not doing YouTube Shorts yet, you're missing out because to me that's going to be the most important platform in 5 years.
For sure.
Especially because not to get off on a side tangent, but with AI, if you guys haven't noticed, like when you Google something, it doesn't always just post a website. A lot of times it just generates an answer for you. We call that generative AI. And so if you want to get in front of more people searching for your service, do topics on your service in like about like you can say like, here's a video on lash extensions and how to pick the right, artist in Montreal, Canada, or whatever. And then that AI is gonna like when somebody Googles lash extensions in Montreal, that's gonna generate an answer based on your transcript from your YouTube video. So I know that was a little bit in the weeds, but just long story short, put videos on YouTube as well.
Yeah, and, I think Instagram now allows up to 3-minute videos,
Yeah.
and I think you said that for YouTube
Yep.
Shorts too, up to 3 minutes, so I love that. Because 'Cause I'd always have to crop his videos to fit in YouTube. Another thing we didn't go over was, stories.
Mhm.
Stories, so important. I know Jake loves his stories. He'll text me, "Why isn't a story posted today?" And I'm like, "Jake, calm down."
It's a constant way to get in front of people.
That's what I was saying, yeah, so, one good thing so, moving back up, so your story highlights is underneath your bio, and it's before your 3-pin post, pretty much, it's, like, in the middle. Love this feature because here's where I find stories are less pressure. You can kinda be more of yourself and kinda post whatever, because it's only up there for 24 hours, quote, quote, but your story highlights, love this because you can categorize your stories by your services. So if you offer waxing, if you offer, microblading, laser hair removal, all that, you can categorize those services into a story highlight. Hey. And then say you just did a waxing on a client or let's not say that. Say you just did a facial on a client and she posts to her Instagram story a picture of your face, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Just got my facial done by so and so," and tags you. You could then repost that to your story, and then you could save that story to your story highlight. So bam, you have a story underneath, facial, whatever. Me personally, I like to go to, wherever I wanna get a service done, and I kinda like I don't wanna have to click through. If you have all of your before and afters in one story highlight, like, that's just gonna make me mad. I like them to be categorized because if I'm
Oh,
getting
you mean, like, categorized by service?
yeah.
Okay.
So if I'm getting sorry, did I not explain that well?
No, it's good.
Okay. So if I want to get a facial, I can go to your story highlight that's, named facial, and I can see all of your past clients that you did facials on, pretty much. And you can even post. So say you made a post about a before and after for a facial, you could you could post that post to your story and then save that story to your highlight. So people can easily find because once you post stuff, it gets lost or whatever. But if you go to your story highlight and click that specific service, they can kind of see.
Yeah. Honestly, one thing we don't do enough that I wanna start doing is, like, more like Instagram Live. Like, even filming this podcast, we coulda, like, set up another tripod with my phone and just gone live on Instagram.
Yeah,
That would've been cool.
that would have
Yeah.
been
Next time.
a nice time. I don't know when good times are to go live though. I feel like first thing in the morning would be good when people are getting
Yeah,
ready.
people's lunch break.
Yeah, I don't know, not so much. I don't know about the afternoon part, but
It depends on who your customers are, like, that's why it's good to know your avatar, like, for me, my avatar or, like, ideal client is a beauty professional, so I know typically when you guys like, on Mondays, you have admin days and, different stuff like that, but whoever your customers are typically, like, if you go more for, the 24-year-old versus more or, you go for someone who's retired, that's gonna be a different, schedule based on when you should go live.
yeah, I think Instagram Lives, I feel I have a feeling this is gonna be, like, a bigger thing because so many people are going on TikTok Live and they see how much money can be made.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a thing for Instagram now, is they're gonna wanna try and, like, get people to go live.
Now, I know we had the TikTok ban recently, and now TikTok's back. If by the time you guys are watching this
I fussed at Jake, I was like, "You shouldn't have posted that." I feel like we all knew it was gonna come back.
I mean, it's so I like getting attention during current events, and so I don't mind posting something even
Yeah.
if it changes. Because that's just I mean, I'm posting what the truth is right now.
Yeah. Well, what were you saying? Sorry.
I was saying by the time they watch this video, I don't know if their TikTok will be up still or not, but if it is, like, how do you think TikTok and Instagram are different?
As, like, a me personally or, like, as a
Because like,
person that has a
when I
business?
was looking at social media, even from business owners, they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss TikTok because the community's on there." And I'm thinking, like, I didn't know they had communities on there. Like, do you understand what they're talking about?
It's not like Facebook community. I
Right.
think it's just, like, the algorithm. TikTok knows your algorithm, so honestly, like, it sees, like probably knows the way you think.
Yeah.
So, the videos that you're seeing, people that are also seeing, they're commenting, they're also like-minded like you, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So, I think that's what they mean by community.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like, you find a TikTok influencer, you watch their videos, you're up to date with them, and you form some, like, kind of connection with them, and I think that's, like, where I find TikTok is like Instagram stories, like, that's how I feel about it, like, there's less pressure on TikTok. Instagram, someone comes to look at your feed and it's like, "Oh, is it aesthetic? Is it cute? Do you have a good vibe?" Like, there's a lot more and, like, we barely talked about Facebook. I don't know if you wanna talk about Facebook.
Yeah, so here's my opinion on Face and I'll get yours in a second, but, like, overall, I'm finding great success with Facebook, but the reason is I use my personal Facebook profile. Now my Facebook page is dead, like, I haven't seen anybody's, like, actual Facebook business page work good in the past year, but my personal profile is crushing it, and so, the way I did that is, basically, I joined Facebook groups of people who are like my customers, like, for you guys, you could join local groups, and I do think there's still a lot of quote community in Facebook groups. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think, I like how you do it, honestly. Business pages are a little tricky, but the way that he did it, he kind of, like, made the brand within himself, which I think is good. A lot of people are like, set it apart, but I think you should probably merge it almost.
Yeah, I see so many people who wanna be successful in business, but then they don't wanna post anything on Facebook. They're like, I just don't wanna be seen.
Yeah.
Well, I
How can you not? Like,
yeah.
that doesn't even make sense.
Not unless you have a huge budget and you can hire other spokespeople. Like, for example, if I'm a business owner and I'm scared to do videos and I'm just a very quote private person, which I'm already losing money there if I was, but I could hire someone like Kylie to be like a spokesperson for the business and representative of the business. But think about it. Even Subway had Jared. Even McDonald's has Ronald McDonald. People relate to faces, not businesses. And so that's why you need personas to represent your business. You can't just be a faceless company if you don't wanna lose out on a ton of money.
Yeah, and I think for beauty professionals too, like, it's so important.
Yeah.
I I don't know, like, I feel like I have to, like, know who is in charge of whatever I wanna get done, I have to, like, even see I get even if I did a service within, like, a big brand, like, a big company, let's just say European Wax Center, if I don't know what the person looks like, I'm gonna have a hard time booking, but I think they have, like, pictures next to the name, but
Yeah. But the reason you trust them is because they built a big brand, so they have their standards, and they have a certain standard or they
yeah,
wouldn't be able to work for them,
yeah.
and so that's but most of my, people watching this, they don't have, like, a big brand like
No
Airbnb Wax Studios, so that would be an exception.
yeah. I think and, like, with community like you said for TikTok, like, you didn't understand the communities. I think there's just, like, with Facebook groups and everything, like, you can type in, like, an esthetician group or six-figure esthetician, and you can find other estheticians that could help you or, you know, answer your questions or even, like, difficult things that they're going through that you might have not have experienced yet, or maybe you've experienced and you can help them out. I think there's a big community in Facebook groups too.
Yeah. Plus, like, just putting something like licensed esthetician or salon owner, whatever, on their Facebook and making it that part public could help because maybe they engage in just a local group or they're talking about something related to their kids and maybe they're helpful. And then somebody's like, who is this person? They click and be, oh, she runs a hair salon. I'm going to start going to her now.
Yeah, yeah, they can see, like, how you interact with other people, and they might, want to book a service with you because they like your vibe and they like that you like to help other people too.
Yeah, and I like to diversify because, these platforms are always changing. And so, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, etc., why put all your eggs in one basket? And we saw that with the TikTok ban as people were freaking out. They were like, oh, I get all my clients from here. What am I going to do? I put all my eggs in this basket. And so just diversify. It's not that hard to take a video and just post it a few more places.
Yeah, and I know with Instagram and Facebook, you can merge the 2 accounts. So
Yeah.
I most of the time well, it's hard because Jake has his own personal one, and we don't like to post stuff. Well, we don't besides the point. But you could actually merge the 2, so your Facebook business and and your Instagram business, every time you post your Instagram, it'll automatically post your Facebook business one. Whether that's business, it's whatever account you have connected to
Yeah. And
whatever.
if they have our we have a software called BeautyBiz AI, they can actually use the social planner and post on all platforms at the same time with one piece of content. So it makes it way easier to manage. If you're interested in a free demo on that, we can put a link below. But anyways,
Yeah. But with, but Instagram it's just like a such like there's so I find it's like so much like there's just so much more you could do. Facebook I just find is like more of like a business. That's I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
I like Facebook, but not with I don't really vibe with it
Well,
as hard as Instagram.
I think for like you're obviously younger. I think for a lot of people like 40 and up, Facebook's still like a big part of it because I still get on Facebook more than any other platform. And so I think the key there is running ads on Facebook. So when people are searching for different things or in their Facebook groups and stuff, and then all of a sudden they see an ad, that's a great time to get in front of them. But anyways, anything else to add?
Just keep in mind, whatever video or picture you post, you can literally post it on all platforms. So just videos especially, that's so easy with Instagram, like, you can post videos on all.
Yeah.
So that's why I
I
like with
I would say
Instagram.
start simple, but start now. Like, don't
Yeah, for sure.
if you're not already posting videos, what are you doing? Because AI is about to take over. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed these tips. So we're gonna do a giveaway right now, and we're gonna take I'm gonna pick a couple people from the comments. So make sure you go comment on this video, and we're gonna give them a free social media audit from Kylie. And so, but by the way, guys, share this with your friends because if I don't get at least 10 comments on here, I'm not picking anyone. So share share this with other people this could help, beauty professionals, business owners, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, Kylie. Congrats on your first podcast.
Nah, thank you.